Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here, a member of Original Gaming Culture. Today we have a video for you guys. We're going to go over patch 1.2, the one for July 2nd at 1 a.m. UTC. It will be released for 2 hours. That's 2 hours of our life that we will be bored out of our mind and or going to take a nap because we have nothing better to do. So today we're going to go over this patch. Before we do, three things. First, hit the thumbs up button. Number two, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And number three, in the description of this video, there is a link to our Discord. Our Discord, probably the biggest and most active Art of Conquest Discord out there. It is a plethora, I just wanted to use that word. It's a plethora of information, bunch of people, a giant wealth of knowledge of the game if you want to join. There are a ton of subcategories, so if you have specific questions about dragons or artifacts or void sages or different race specific things, you can go in there. There's also spam chat, so you can just chat away. And if you're lucky, you too might be able to see me there and we can hang out in voice chat, talk the night away and stuff. So let's jump into the patch. The first thing that I notice is the Conquered Drake. So you can read this as I scroll down if you want, or you can go to their Facebook or Lilith forums and get all of this information for yourself. Basically, long story short with this is there's not a bunch of definitive information that I have found yet at the early portions of June 26th when I'm actually recording this video. So it seems like you stay on your realm, there's not going to be giant mergers, and there's going to be an event realm. So a separate realm, kind of like how you enter into the Void or into Victory Road or into any of the group stages, it's going to be its own separate area, and you enter into that. It's kind of like the restart of the game, and there's different things going on there. However, there really is not much definitive knowledge. Even in the patch notes, it's like we'll release more and update this as it comes out. So there isn't much to go off of other than speculations and or rumors. However, if you guys know more information on this, please feel free to post it in the comments of this video. One interesting thing that I did see in this that I really like is the history of Nor. So I'm one of those players, I don't care about the lore of the game. However, there are players out there that really like the backstories of how Elena became Elena or how Avalon became Avalon. So for those individuals that really like that aspect, this is going to be a cool part where we have a history feature. And I don't like that stuff. However, Original Gaming Culture's very own Nemo loves lore. She loves stories. She likes the backlogs. So she's actually going to make some videos on this channel kind of covering the background of Art of Conquest, what Nor is, where we came from, who is Avalon, who was Avalon's father. These questions might be answered. Probably not. We will never know who Avalon's father is. One of the other big things that's coming up is Territorial Master. The big takeaway from this whole thing is races that are not Sylph will finally be able to compete in group the group stages such as Swamp and the Hero Altar. So there's going to be a big buff of damage. How this is going to affect everything, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to do updated videos to cover those because everything I have now for that is either me failing horribly as Dwarf, which is kind of funny to look back on, or it is me playing as Sylph. Honor is getting a big boost. We can now hold on at Stronghold level 40, 600,000 honor. I'm sure that if you're higher level than that, it will actually go up. This will not affect me at all. For most people that watch these videos, this is not going to change anything for us. However, I'd thrown it out there. I won't mention names because I don't know if this individual feels comfortable with that. There's people that I'm lucky enough to play alongside with that get 100,000 honor per attack on a stronghold, and I mean like regular siege. is absolutely insane. So for an individual like this, he'll actually be able to do 6 sieges before having to empty out all of their honor, as opposed to doing 1 siege, then having to spend it all, do 1 siege, spend it all. So this will be nice for those types of individuals. Next, we have Rufio's rework. So Rufio might actually be useful. He might become a backline killer. So let's check out Rufio's information. So one of his skills, I believe all 8 are here, but first we have Arena King. So each time he uses pretty much any of his active abilities, Rufio impairs his targets with Sackable Intimidate debuff. He can sack up to 5 times. Intimidated enemies deal 15% less damage to Rufio, and for 6 seconds after Rufio uses an active ability, his evade chances increase by 30%. So pretty much if you keep spamming abilities on Rufio, he can just have 30% evade or increase. This goes up, by the way, with hero research by quite a bit. I believe tier 13 offers a significant portion of evade if his health falls below a certain portion. And the Intimidate debuff is pretty awesome. It doesn't give a time limit for the debuff, so in 5 stacks at 15% each, I mean, we're talking significant damage reduction, like 80% damage reduction. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be pretty huge. Next, we have Blade Storm. So Rufio spins in a destructive Blade Storm that moves towards the target area, pulling enemies in along the way and dealing damage. After traveling a certain distance, Rufio leaves the Blade Storm and it continues along its trajectory. Rufio may use Blade Storm at most 3 times per battle. So this is kind of like his, I forget the name of it, it's like the Whirlwind ability in Diablo 2 for Barbarians. Currently he has an ability where he slides in a straight line spinning. However, he pushes enemies away as he spins through. So it looks like with Blade Storm, he's actually going to suck enemies in, and he's not going to go the whole distance. So that should be an interesting ability. Since he can use it three times per battle, it will be able to sack with the Arena King. Next, Rufio has Intimidating Show. So Rufio bellows a war cry at the start of battle, stunning affected non-massive enemies. Rufio's battle-hardened body grants him additional stamina. So this will be like his normal stamina buff. The actual stamina amounts, it's not said here in the patch notes. If you look at the leaked pictures of Rufio, it will say there. I don't have them on me to show you guys right this second. This right here could make Rufio a staple in every army, kind of like how Balrog kind of is, because he'll start off by stunning non-massive enemies. So that includes large. Things that are large would include scorpions. It would include huntresses. There's a lot that he would stun at the beginning. So interesting. Next, Rufio has Chopping Blade. Rufio controls his blade at certain intervals with his mind, casting Chopping Blade on enemies in front of him, dealing heavy damage. Every time Rufio uses an active ability, his next basic auto attack is granted to be a Chopping Blade. So this is his standard. What are most of them? Like 35% chance of doing a special attack. This is his version. However, it's unique because it does bonus damage, and every time he casts an ability, he'll automatically have a 100% chance of doing that his next attack. So that's pretty cool. That should help him out a little bit. Next, we have Bloodbath. Rufio revel's in the carnage of battle, gaining lifesteal from Blade Storm and Chopping Blade. In addition, his injury recovery time is reduced. So this, I think, could actually be pretty interesting. Lifesteal in pretty much every game I've played is an amazing ability, oftentimes overpowered. If I think of League of Legends, if it wasn't for grievous wounds, then lifesteal would be ridiculous. Diablo 2, lifesteal in that game made Frenzy Barbarians insane. It made Zeal Paladins awesome. So lifesteal is often a very, very powerful mechanic in a game. So I don't know how this is going to translate because it only affects Blaze Storm and Chopping Blade, but I would keep an eye on this because this might be really powerful for Rufio. Plus, that new Barbaric set is looking better and better on Rufio. Next, we have Fearless. Rufio deals several times damage to large and massive units, so cool. He's going to do extra damage to bigger units. And finally, we have Deep Impact. So Rufio leaps the target area and smashes the ground, damaging and stunning nearby enemies. The impact area slows the attack speed and movement speed of the enemies. Every time Rufio crosses the bounds of the impact area, the damage and stun effects are triggered again. So, Rufio will have a lot of skills, and the timing and placement is going to be very important. So if he does a deep impact, he lands backline on the archers, he stuns them and slows their attack speed. Massive. You can limit the enemy's DPS. So I'm thinking Rufio is going to be a great counter to humans, which kind of sucks because I'm really looking forward to playing humans. So he'll create that area where there's that stun and that slow, and then every time he does, say, like a Blade Storm and travels through that area, like in and out, it's going to re-trigger that effect for Deep Impact. So that's a lot of skill usage, though, for Rufio. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of testing done with Rufio. But anyways, it's going to be a totally different hero than what we're used to. Next, we have some masteries that are getting redone. So Avalon. When Avalon's on the battlefield, his archer mastery, all friendly line infantry, which are archers, have their damage and health increased. Furthermore, their moral decay rate is reduced and the duration of their moral boost is increased. What this means, and this is true for Alina with Templars and with Varian with swords. So for all three of these, what this means is the troops will not get a moral collapse as fast. This is huge for archers. And if they get a moral boost, it's going to be extended by a portion of time. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think it's something like 2 seconds additional, which might not sound like a lot, but that's a lot. So pretty much swords, cavalry, and archers for humans will then benefit from, say, Crusader Shield of Varian for an extra 2 seconds, which is significant damage reduction. And for their archers, like Zen archers, to get 2 additional seconds of like a insane chance to shoot 2 arrows, this is a really much needed buff for human. I think this, along with new awakened troops, might make humans somewhat viable. I don't think they'll be the strongest. I don't think it's going to be like Rockin when Rockin got major buffs, or when Lich first got their major buffs. I don't think it's going to be like that and everyone's going to switch to humans. Because I do think that there's a lot of really good balance coming out of this, where there's going to have to be a diversity of races in order for people to counter one another. That's where my mind's going, but this is a much needed buff for humans. Humans really need a spearman hero, and then they'll be good. They'll be highly competitive, but it's a good start. Gafgar, his startling blow now deals more damage and cannot be evaded, so we'll have to wait and check that out. And Pyro Pincers, Gafgar slams his massive pincers and causes flames to shoot from the ground, dealing burning damage to enemies in target area. Gafgar's attack speed is increased, and his basic attack is granted to stun. So Gafgar, because he hasn't buffed Dwarf enough, him as a hero is going to get buffed as well. Fenrir's Summon Wolves are now affected by hero upgrades. Cool. That just means Fenrir's Wolves are now affected by hero upgrades. Under racial balances, we then have the Sylveon race. So fungal growth ability from the Shroom Lords now grant 10% attack speed every time that they grow. Here's my prediction, guys, and this is just a prediction. I think Shroom Lords, especially depending on what their awakenings look like, they could become some of the most powerful ranged units in the future, depending on what their awakened types are like. So Shroom Lords struggle at the very beginning of a battle. but I would highly recommend testing them out for longer battles, especially once this hits, because 10% attack speed bonus every time they grow. I think what can they grow, like 6 times? I think. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 6 times, and it might only be 3 for Garrison. I forget off the top of my head, but I think that this is much needed for the Shroom Lords. I think that we might see more Shroom Lords in the future. And I think Shroom Lords plus trees is going to be a hard counter to humans. But yeah, because Shroom Lords tend to attack the units in the back, and I think that they can just shred through human archers, and then the trees with thorn mail on them, or thorn armor, I'm forever going to call it thorn mail because of League of Legends, those trees are just going to have the human units kill themselves on them. So anyways, long story short, I think that this is much needed for the Shroom Lords, and who knows, once they get their awakening, they could be a really powerful range unit. Another huge change, and it doesn't look like a huge change at first, but this is massive, is the Elite Garrison training now increases the magic defense of Garrison troops by 25%. So if you don't know what that is, that's the Tier 13 Army Research. So Tier 13 Army Research. Right now it grants, I think, is 25% health and attack for Garrison troops, something along that lines, once it's fully maxed out. Now adding on 25% magic defense, that's going to make it so that dropping one Avril Blizzard on the backline archers shouldn't kill the archers. It will change the dynamics. It will offer some more defense for Garrisons, so it will be interesting to see how this plays out. Garrisons might actually make a difference someday, but this is a step in the right direction. Now, if only we could put up to 3 heroes on the actual garrison walls along with the troops, that could change everything. But that's not happening. That's not happening. In other updates, you can now leave your house during treasure hunt events. Cool. Honestly, to be honest with you guys, I didn't know that you couldn't leave your house during treasure hunt events, but cool. The shop may be restocked with Dragon Skulls for Valor Tier 13 commanders. Awesome, so they can now get Dragon Scrolls from the shop. I apologize because some of this stuff really doesn't affect me too much, so I didn't look too into it. I've been Tier 15 for a couple minutes, so I kind of forgot about the other tiers. Same thing with the treasure hunt event. I've never had trouble leaving a house, and I don't really leave houses often. So anyways, I digest. Let's continue. You can obtain the Dark Duelist Avalon skin with these skin scrolls. Alright, pretty cool. Another thing to buy with skin scrolls. If you guys have gotten anything yet from the skin scrolls, let me know in the comment section. I haven't gotten one yet. I think I'm at like 70 scrolls or something. I'm starting to get close. Let me know what skin to get first. I'm leaning towards Mako, and I'm pretty sure I'm set on Mako. So the next one, in the Clash of Fate Battleground, you will not be penalized for being returned to the respawn point if you abandon your spot after occupying the Nexus for 3 minutes. So some changes in Clash of Fate. Finally, the last thing in this note is we now have new awakened troops. We have Scorpion, Trees, Human Swordsmen, Blasters, and Monks all being able to awaken, become awoke, and yeah, participate in the fight. If you don't know what these troops look like yet, check out the video from yesterday. I kind of break them all down. The pictures are horrible resolution, but you can get a sneak peek at what they're going to look like, so you can start making some decisions based around that. And with that, guys, that is a long-winded way of going through the patch notes. So if you have not subscribed at this point in time, please subscribe. Please hit the big thumbs up button. Go down to the description. join our Discord. Have some wonderful conversations. There's even server recruitment areas so that you can recruit people to join your house or join your server. If people want to join my house on 1188, feel free to get a hold of me on Discord. And you can go there and farm as long as you're a decent human being. And go there, check it out. It's some cool stuff. So anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.